Good morning to all our viewers and welcome here and on the line with. And today we are speaking to a very special person with a lot of knowledge and that has really got a passion for angling, but not angling in any place, especially adventure fishing. So his name is Vivian Torlage, and he's the owner of Conqueror in the West Rand. And we would welcome you, Vivian. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Werner. It's a pleasure. I think sitting at home and doing an interview like this puts a total new spin to the whole angling aspect. Yes.
Yeah, far away from adventure fishing as we know it.
Yes. We're all doing our part, sitting at home and being responsible.
Yes, so let's flatten the curve so we can go fishing as fast as possible again.
As quick as possible.
Yes, that's true. Okay, Vivian, you've been up into Africa a lot of times, and you're also quite an avid angler, and you've been involved with Hirganos Alweer and with tight lines, and you're a column writer for tight lines. And tell us a little bit about what fishing means to you.
Yes, I've been very privileged. I grew up on the Zambezi River in the 80s, 70s and 80s. And fishing has been part of my life, more than a passion, and also the outdoor lifestyle. So with our caravans that we get to go camp all over Africa, we always pass a little river system or a dam somewhere, and having a fishing rod in the caravan is definitely the first thing we pack whenever we leave to go anywhere.
Okay, that's great. So let's kick off with showing the viewers a bit of what you've been up to. I'm going to share my screen. The viewers can see it as well. And I am going to start with a little bit of eye candy for everybody. So as we show them, this has been one of the most recent trips that you've been involved with. Quite a special one.
Yes, definitely so. We traveled from Swakopmund up to the Kanini River mouth, following the coastline up. It is more than just an adventure by itself. The fishing part of it, we are very privileged to be there and to be able to fish in that area where very few people has ever fished before. And it was very clear from the amount of fish we got, the quality of the fish we got, that the fishing pressure in that area is very, very little. So to do a trip like that is absolutely on the top of my list.
Let's go to another part. Let's look at for anglers, and we look at for the viewers, just to get to these articles that Vivian has written. You just go to the search button, search Vivian Torlage, and up comes all the different articles related to adventure fishing. So I want to show you this specific trip. Vivian, the driving up in that area is quite challenging by itself. It's so you have to know what you're doing when you're driving in that area.
Yes. Your planning you do to be able to do a trip like this would include, for example, diesel. To give you an idea, we would be in 4x4 high range, low range most of the time. So your vehicles uses a lot of fuel, and the stretch between two fueling areas is about 1,000 kilometers. Now, to give you an idea, the vehicles sometimes run at, most of the time, run at about 4 to 5 kilometers per liter. So you take with between 6 and 8 jerry cans just for diesel to run that area. Except for that, your tire choice on your vehicle and how you set your vehicle up with regards to weight distribution, keeping the weight on the vehicle low and don't pack everything too high. And then obviously deflating your tires to sometimes 0.6, 0.7 bar to be able to go through the thick sand. And when one uses a vehicle with a tire pressure of 0.6 or 0.7 bar, you need to drive very carefully. Speed is an absolute killer, although momentum is absolutely important. So to know what you're doing and to have your tires at the right type of pressure, to have packed your vehicles correctly, forms part of planning of a trip like this.
Now, obviously, I've seen that the type of equipment that you take with is the right stuff. And to save some time, this specific one also was an inflator that does two wheels at the same time.
Okay, so yes, it's a fantastic piece of equipment. It equalizes the pressure between left and right, makes your deflation much quicker, as you can deflate two tires at one time. And to have something like that where we do inflate the tires and deflate 3 or 4 times a day makes life very, very easy for yourself.
And we've seen that that terrain can be pretty tough, and we see what happened to a rim and what happened to a tire. So having the enough fed wheels as well, what would you recommend for our viewers?
Yes, definitely. Except for having enough spare wheels, and when we say enough spare wheels, at least 2 extra tires. So you'll drive around with your 6 tires. Also a very good quality pump and a good quality tire repair kit. The terrain from very rocky to very soft sand, unfortunately, you do damage tires. Sometimes just a little stick in the sand cuts the sidewall of the tire, and you are not going to get tires in that area. So the only way to make sure that you are safe and you get through the area is to carry enough tires with you.
Okay, brilliant. So I want to go back to this little clip.
Yes.
Now, when we
I knew you were going to go there.
So when we got to where was it, Henties? There were these little trailers, and they're all well prepared for fishing at the Henties area, and we thought it would be a good idea to take one of them up. And I just want to show the viewers what happened to it. What happened there?
Okay, so with the stone in that area, the vehicle picks up the stone, hits the trailer and bounces back from the trailer onto the vehicle, and I took my back window out. So a quick bush fix, we took some duct tape and taped the whole window inside and outside. And believe it or not, that window, I only removed that whole window when we came back from the trip. So it lasted the whole time. For our Conqueror trailers, we offer a product called the travel blanket. Now the travel blanket is a PVC layer that sits on the nose cone of your caravan or your trailer, and got a 5mm soft sponge padding in it. So when the stone hits the trailer, it breaks the speed of the stone and it doesn't reflect back on your vehicle. Well, because we obviously didn't plan to take this trailer with us, there was never a travel blanket, and this was going to happen. We actually predicted it, and about an hour later it happened.
And then there were also 2 other things that happened. The wheel bearing was the one, and then this little piece in terms of the towing edge was also a problem.
I suppose the terrain there, you need to prepare for that terrain. When we take our caravans in there, we would make sure that all the caravans are serviced. So because we used somebody else's trailer, we'd never had the opportunity to really service the trailer. The terrain there is unforgiving, and going into an area like that, you need to know your caravan, you need to know your vehicle, and you need to know what level of service quality has been performed on that vehicle. Unfortunately, with this trailer, It was given to us and we had no background on it. And yes, we had to do some bush fixing, but it went through.
But also then the lesson for me in that was there's a big difference between just taking a trailer to go fishing and maybe at Henties on the beach and things like that, and going through the Skeleton Coast right up to the top over that terrain. You really need to have the right equipment when you go up there.
Absolutely so. The right equipment and the correct maintenance on that equipment must be done.
While we're talking about that, let me just share a little bit more. So here was another, I don't want to call it incident, because getting stuck in that area is sort of one of the things that you will come across somewhere during the trip or once a day or something like that. But here the terrain, especially the corrugations there, and this is fortunately not our bakkie, it was another vehicle that was in that area that got into a bit of a sticky situation. But Vivian, just talk us through what we can learn from these pictures.
Yeah, to give you a bit of background, this specific vehicle was driven by people that drives in that area every day. So I don't think a lack of knowledge of the area and a lack of the vehicle capability was a problem. Unfortunately, with that thick sand and sometimes maybe a bit of a high speed situation, these things happen. Yeah, and it's very unfortunate, but therefore it's very, very important that you pack your vehicle correctly, keep your center of gravity on the vehicle low, your tire pressure correct. When we're going to drive these long distances, like in between two stops, we'll do 200 or 300 kilometers at a stage. You can't go too low on your tire pressure. Your tire pressure needs to be probably around about 1.8 bar, 1.5 bar, so that you don't de-seed a tire off a rim. What exactly happened in this situation, we don't know. We know that the vehicle did go through a bit of corrugation, went into a sand heap that was next to the road, and the vehicle obviously turned over. But yes, for this matter, we need to be prepared in the sense of when we travel, we have satellite telephones with us, because the area is very unforgiving. You will have 200 or 300 kilometers of absolutely nothing. Nobody that can help you, no doctors, no filling stations. And when you reach the mouth, you would be about 700 kilometers from any closest help. So medical kits, satellite telephones, and obviously the knowledge of what you're doing and how you're going to do it is very important, not to put yourself into a compromising position.
If we look at these photos here, number 3, 4, and 5, this happened in a very soft salt pan area just behind the dunes, which didn't look that soft from a distance. So how do you know when and where are these salt pans likely to be?
Well, again, it's very difficult to see it. As you know yourself, you will drive and then suddenly what looks like very hard sand becomes very soft very quickly. The important thing is there are telltale signs of a salt pan, and it would normally be a smoother type of area. Stay out of a salt pan, totally away from it. Once you are in a salt pan, you got a couple of different scenarios that can happen. The crust is very thin. The wheel starts cutting into the crust, and then you are in a mud pit that you are not going to get yourself out of. In fact, sometimes vehicles get stuck there for days. So drive slower, and yes, if you get stuck, recover yourself and just drive a little bit faster the next time you want to go through there. But important not to try to negotiate a obstacle with all force the first time, because that's when accidents happen. Your vehicle is capable with high range, low range, diff locks. We'd rather drive slower, make use of all the facilities that the vehicle offers you. If you get stuck, recover yourself and just next time a little bit more momentum and go through the obstacle. You do not have to drive too fast to negotiate any of these obstacles.
A couple of important things. This specific vehicle was mine. I was the driver of this one that got stuck in the salt pan. But the fact that we had extra ropes and long straps made it easier for Hein to actually get it out there, because he couldn't come closer in any case. And with the sand tracks, it also helps, or the ladders, as you call them. Also, what I learned is that the winches that you have on the vehicles are actually much more important than what you think, and the maintenance on them.
Absolutely. You know, people put a winch on a vehicle and would probably never use it. But if you're going to do these type of adventure tours, it's absolutely critical to have one and to know how to use it. Long straps, but not only any type of strap, your kinetic type of straps, your kinetic type of ropes helps a lot. And when you purchase these items, make sure that you're purchasing rated products from companies that's got the necessary equipment to test these type of products, and to use the right type of strap for the right type of scenario. For example, you don't want to go and recover a vehicle with a towing strap where you're going to remove bumpers or vehicles, and therefore we've got speciality type of straps like kinetic ropes and kinetic straps. And then with regards to your winch, yes, you only use your winch maybe once or twice a year. Some people actually once or twice in 2 or 3 years. And therefore it's important before the trip to unwind your cable or your rope on your winch, to rewind it on, and to make sure that your winch is in good working condition, because that is sometimes going to save your life.
Okay, so let's get to another picture, a special one. Tell us about that, and tell us about your colleague.
Yeah, that is probably the once a lifetime fish for Johan Greiling. Johan and I have been fishing together for a good part of 20 odd years. Johan is the owner of Conqueror mid-brand. Yeah, our passion for the outdoor life and for fishing has been a long road we've walked together, with fishing from the Zambezi to all the coastlines. But yes, what happened there, we were putting out quite big baits for bronze sharks. The wind was blowing, must be like 42 or 43 kilometers an hour. Gale force type of winds were blowing. Very difficult to get the baits in the water. And there was a lot of bronze sharks in the area. So between the lot of fishermen, we must have caught about 10 or 15 bronze sharks. And then this fish picked up Johan, and Johan thought it was another bronze shark, fought it accordingly. And what a surprise to us when this silver body turned in front of us in the wave. And the excitement actually bubbled over at that stage. We all started running to catch the fish and to retrieve it from the waves. And this is what came out. It was a fantastic once-in-a-lifetime fish for Johan.
Yeah, everybody was looking for the fin to come out in the surf, and then suddenly this silver body came out.
Yes, this big silver body. You know, that's very unique to a nice big cabollio like this. When they turn in that wave and the sun hits that body, and it's undescribable. It's absolutely a beautiful fish.
Yes, it's amazing. Vivian, one of your other articles, you wrote about this trip was also up to the Kunene, and I think it was one of the first trips that a caravan ever went up there. Now, we went down in that other video, you saw it. I was in the vehicle when we went down that slip face for the first time, and it was quite scary. But you go down with your caravan.
Yeah, we've a couple of years ago done the very first desert crossing with caravans, and this specific trip was the very first ever caravan tour that went up to the Kunene River mouth. It's a wonderful experience. You obviously need to know what you're doing in the sense of, again, packing the caravans and preparing your equipment. And the first two or three times going down these type of slope faces, you get that funny feeling in your stomach, and once you get used to it, it becomes natural as long as you keep your vehicle as long as you keep your vehicle slow, first gear, low range, and make sure the caravan stays 100% straight behind you, you are fine. Very unique. You'll see us driving on the beach there. That is actually in between the Kunene River and the sea on the left-hand side. And for you to be able to experience this is now possible.
One last thing on this trip before we go to one of the other topics. To be able to go to that type of terrain with confidence, you must have a lot of confidence in the undercarriage of your trailers and your caravans. What is special about Conqueror's product, and what gives you that confidence?
You know, firstly, the product's been developed over a period of 25 years. And everything in the caravan, as we put the caravan together, has got a very specific purpose in the caravan. All our caravans got independent suspensions, and there also you've got options on on coil springs and shocks, or air suspension and shock. So the first row of caravans on top there, you'll see that's the Conqueror Commander. It comes in 3 different varieties. The classic Commander, the brown one, the middle of the platinum, and then the right hand side, the Recce edition. And then the Conqueror Companion. So both the Conqueror Commander and Conqueror Companion won Caravans of the Year in South Africa the last 4 years. And yeah, both of them, you can 100% for sure be confident on the suspension systems, and you can stand in the middle of the desert there and still have your hot shower, your stove, battery facilities, have all the luxuries you would have in a chalet.
I can't help but to have a look at the tow hitch and the quality of this, and thinking back to our trip with a normal little trailer, and I can see why you have a lot of design and engineering gone into this.
Yeah, definitely. Our A-frames are boxed A-frames, especially designed for 4x4 and off-road use. So is our chassis systems and the undercarriage, the suspension systems. Now, the suspension is also very important because it absorbs a lot of vibration that would have normally on other type of axle systems normally gone into your caravan over a period of time, damage your body system, and then also everything you pack in your caravan, you would have that vibration running through fridges, through cameras, whatever you got inside your caravan. Our independent suspensions are very well set up to absorb all of these type of vibrations and what happens above the suspension.
Now the brand that we are seeing on the screen here is a different kettle of fish. This is something different. It says EUV. So firstly, tell us what that is, and then why this is so different.
Yes. So the UEV range is an urban escape vehicle. It's a new range. We've introduced it about a year and a half ago. The caravan is built from a composite material that's used in aircraft flooring and aircraft technology. And the way that we build the caravan is very unique to ourselves with regards to how the caravan is put together. We've got 3 models in it. The UEV 14 is our 2-sleeper, the 17, which is a 4-sleeper, and then the 25, which is a double axle 4-sleeper with a bathroom inside the caravan and shower systems inside and outside the caravans.
Now that looks like a beast. Will you be able to take that thing up to the Kunene?
No, you're not going to. The caravan, each caravan has got, any caravan has got limitations. You need to understand your product. You need to understand the limitations of your product. And because of the far distance from the wheel to the tow hitch, it's going to make it very difficult to cross those big sand dunes and to go down those big slope faces, as well as the weight of the caravan will definitely have an effect on thick sand driving as well. So on a vehicle like that, on a caravan like that, I would not suggest you taking into those type of areas. Just
too long, and you need a bit of a beast of a tow vehicle in any case to get it there. But
you need a very big tow vehicle, yes. Yeah, you know, there's no limitations on it when you want to go and do the Moremi and Savutis and those type of things. but every area would have some form of limitation on your vehicle as per on your caravan, and that caravan definitely should not be taken into those type of areas.
Vivian, you've got all these quite nice and well developed, well engineered. Obviously, you've got all these nice vans and trailers and so on, which is on the upper end and really made for going to those exotic places. But you also cater for the angler that wants to go and stand next to the Val Dam, travel a bad farm road, things like that, where you can't get in with a normal kind of baggage trailer. So here's an interesting project that we ran with you on developing a specific angler's trailer. Just tell us a little bit about this project.
Yeah, so I mean, any of our products are set up that you can go and do the Namibias, the Botswana, northern areas of Botswana, but then that same product can be used in everyday normal camping. This specific trailer is a little Conquest trailer, and Gilbert came to us and said he would like to have a trailer set up specifically for fishing. So then, after negotiating a little bit with Gilbert and listening to what he wants, we then started setting up a trailer for, in his case, the carp angler, where we added fishing rod holders into the trailer. We added additional battery systems for his 12-volt boat engine, solar paneling systems, and just get the trailer ready for him. And that we can do on most of our caravans within reason, to set up a caravan or a trailer so that it works for you in whatever you want to do with that product.
So in this specific article, our viewers, you can go and have a look on 4Anglers. Go and search this specific article. Just put in Gilbert Conqueror in the search engine, and then you'll find it. Gilbert's got a nice little video here where he explains everything. But then Vivian, Gilbert also gave a couple of ideas, and then you made some changes. And in the last or the latest bank angler that's coming out in May, or the May issue that will be launched somewhere in the middle of April, that final product is then on show, so that the anglers can see. What was the biggest thing that you learned from an angler's perspective of the needs of an angler, especially in today's crime, I don't know what you call it, times, crime-infested times?
Yes, absolutely. Firstly, having the correct type of light in the correct areas. The bank angler doesn't always want light on the water, or prefer not to have light on the water. But yes, light helps with security around the dams and those areas, and the right type of light, how it floods the area, was important to Gilbert. And then furthermore, a little sensor security system where they can put out beams, and if somebody comes into the area, a little alarm will go off to notify you there's somebody in your area. And all of that can be done with the trailers.
That's great. That was quite interesting. So Vivian, if our viewers want to find more information about the trailers, whether it's the 4Anglers trailer, specifically for the bank anglers and carp anglers, or whether it's up to your luxury caravans, how do they go about? Where can they contact you?
Okay, so yes, go to our website. It's Conqueror-JHB for Johannesburg, or Conqueror-MID for Midrand.co.za. All the contact information is on there. Make contact with us and we'll put you in a product that's going to suit you. We take in consideration family, size, age of kids, what you want to do with the product, and speak to our salespeople. They'll put you in the right product that would help you.
Where are your floors situated? Where can the guys drive to if they want to go and look at the vehicles?
Okay, so the Conqueror Midrand is 181 Lever Road, very close to the Voderwold, and Conqueror Northgate, Conqueror Westbrand, is in Northumberland Avenue in the corner of Malabongwe and Witkoppen, very close to the Ticket Road Dome area.
You actually go in there by the nursery area and then sort of drive through the nursery.
Yes, yes, we are situated inside Waterstone Garden Centre. Very nice outdoor type of shop. All our products are on display. We've got a little shop there that sells the essentials for caravans as well, from equipment to fridges, camping equipment, all a one-stop shop for the caravan user.
Great. Thank you, Vivian. And just to our viewers, if you go to For Anglers and you just go into the search button and put in Conqueror or Vivian's name, you can go and read all the articles about this adventure fishing trips. But what is important as well, Vivian has put a little bit of an addendum into each one of these articles. He calls it, I think, the Conqueror Trips and Tricks, if that is correct, Vivian.
That's correct, yes. They can also find those videos on our Facebook, Werner.
That's correct. And there's also a little bit of a lockdown video coming out in the next week or so, whereby Vivian's going to show how you can maintain while you're sitting at home. What are the different things that you can do to your trailer or your caravan in terms of the easy maintenance stuff? So go and watch it all, look at the different videos. And Vivian, thank you for talking to us, and thank you for taking us on these nice adventure trips with Tight Lines. We really appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Werner. Appreciate it.